Hello, what's up? How are you all doing? I hope this message is meeting you well. I really want to appreciate you guys for your love, for your comments and support. I really appreciate you so far for, for all your comments and love that you have shown me all this while. I really appreciate your comment means a lot to me because your encouragement is what gives me the motivation to keep on posting new videos and keep on giving me inspiration. I thank God for that, and I thank God to have you as my subscriber. So yeah, what I want to show you right now after this video is how to draft your 6 pieces skirt and how to sew it. I really hope you enjoyed it because I put a lot in this on how to show you on how to do it. I pray it will be easier for you to understand and do yours to come out perfect and even better than mine, because that is my prayer, for you to do better than me, because I know that you can do it and it is simple. As I always say, it is really simple to do, only if you believe that it is simple. That is why I always give you things on practical. I always cut on fabric for you to understand that I'm also doing it, not just showing you on pattern without doing it. So I always like doing it on the fabric, but pattern is the best way to go. Don't get me wrong, pattern is the best way to go. When you draft it on pattern and you transfer to your fabric, that helps you to manage your fabric and gives you a better result. If you want to make any correction, you can make the correction on your pattern paper before transferring it to your fabric. But if you go ahead to cut on your fabric and you make any error, then you want to correct, it will make you to lose your fabric, or in other way, for you to adjust, it makes you to waste your fabric. So it is better to make those adjustments on your pattern paper. So I really appreciate you for your comment. Please don't forget to share this video, and please don't forget to share this video to your friends and tell them to subscribe, because your subscription means a lot to me. Every day I come up online to check, I see people subscribing every day. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you for subscribing. It means a lot to me, and I really thank you for tuning tune. Anytime you see me upload a new video, you always show me your love. I say thank you, because without you, there is nothing like channel. There is nothing that Wilson's fashion glory without you, the subscriber. So I say thank you. Really appreciate it. I know that you are going to subscribe to this video. If this is your first time of seeing my work, subscribe, because I bet you there's a lot coming. You need something from this channel. There is something for you. I have a strong belief that everybody in this channel that has subscribed, there is something that you want to know. There is something that is for you. There's a video that is for you. There's a video that's for you. I have a strong belief for that. So any video I post, I know that that video is going for somebody. So thank you everyone for subscribing so far. If you have been with me all this while, I really appreciate you. I say thank you very much. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your belief, because I just can't express how I feel. So I just want to let you know that there's nothing too difficult for you to do. Only if you believe, everything is easy. Right now, I'm not using my camera stand. I just want to show you something for you to be inspired in case you want to start up your own YouTube channel. There is no there is no limit to what you can do. You can do anything you want to do. There's no limit. So I just use this kind of, it is quite funny, right? It is quite funny. I haven't shown you, but it's quite funny on how I was able to place my camera for it to look as if I'm using a camera stand. I don't have a camera stand yet because of there are some other issues I'm trying to cope up with. So don't worry, very soon I will have a standard camera, not even phone, because I'm using phone now. I will have a standard camera to show you. I have said too much. Let me go straight to show you on what I'm able to use to shoot this video right now, for it to be encouraged. And if you want to start your YouTube channel, you don't need to know everything. You need to start from somewhere and you learn and teach. I give you a goal, you can do it. Just go on and start yours. I just want to use mine as an inspiration for you to start, for you to see. I've said enough. I'm still saying something. I love talking. I don't know why. So you can see what I am using to to set up my camera. So my phone is being placed inside of this. You can see the dress which I make. So my phone is being placed right side of it. So you can see it's being placed inside of it for it to be stable, for me to be able to show you guys on how to go about this. So I really appreciate you guys for all your support. Keep encouraging me. I love you all. I hope you enjoyed this video as we're about to show you on how to cut your 6-piece skirt. See you in the comment section. Comment and tell me how you feel about the video, if you learned anything, and in case you want me to show you on how to sew it, or how to cut on your main fabric, please comment down below. We would love to hear from you and know on what to do about that. So thank you and enjoy yourself. Finally, we are here. Welcome back once again to another tutorial, and I want to show you on how to draft your 6-piece skirt. This has been how will I say it, a long time coming for this video. So many of you have been requesting for me to show you on how to cut your 6-piece skirt. So here it is. I pray that this will be easier for you to understand, because I will try my possible best to make it very simple and quick for you to understand. So how to get your 6-piece skirt? As you can see, I have my pattern here which I want to work with. And how to get your 6-piece skirt, you need about 3.5 yards of fabric. It all depends on the size of your client which you are working for. If your client that you're working for is not that big, you can go with 3 yards. But if your client is big, you can go with 3.5 yards. And you have to determine your 6 pieces by calculating it. Your 3.5 yards, your back will be higher, or your back will be bigger by 14 inches. So what you will do is to calculate your 3.5 divided by 2, and you are going to minus one side. You are going to minus one side by reducing the figure of one side to add to the other, to make one side to be bigger by 14 inches, so that your back will have a free space for a little tail to make it flare than the front. So your back will be bigger by 14 inches for your 6 pieces. So without wasting much of your time, let me go straight into the drafting of the 6 pieces. So here now I have my pattern paper here. So there is something I just come across on how to make you understand better. So how to get your paper unfold. Your paper unfold, you can go with your nipple to nipple measurement plus 1 inch for sewing allowance. So what I'm working with, my nipple to nipple measurement is 8 plus 1 inch for sewing allowance, making it 9. So I'm going to fold my fabric like this, because what I want to do now is for the center front. So when cutting yours, you need your fabric to be together. When cutting yours, you need your fabric to be together. So I'm going to place my center front by 9 inches. That's what I'm going to do. So let me make use of this red pen. So here is my 9 inches. Let me go ahead to fold it. So here is my center front. Please make sure your fabric is full. This is a tutorial, so I'm making use of a pattern paper for you to understand better, because I don't want to use my fabric to explain to you. I want it to be clearer. So please make sure you use your main fabric in full. Don't cut it in separate ways just like this. Please take note of that. So what I'm working with now, my fabric length is 40. So it all depends on the length of your client, which you took from your client. So let me say my length of my skirt is 39 plus 1 inch for sewing allowance, making it 40. 39 plus 1 inch for sewing allowance, making it 40. So that is what I have here. So how to get my waist to hip? My waist to hip is 9 inches. So here is my waist to hip, 9 inches, and my waist to nail, 19. So how to get your nail measurement? You can take it from your waist, it does not sit at our normal waist. If you also want to sit at the normal waist, we will reduce this by 8 and make here 18. Since it is starting from your tummy, you're going to make it 19 and make here 9. So how to get your nail measurements? It does not sit exact at the exact point of your nail. So what you need to do is to take your measurement from your tummy to your nail, then reduce 3 to 4 inches to get your measurement. It should not sit at the exact nail, so you should go up by 3 to 4 inches to get your nail measurement. So that is how I was able to get my nail measurement. So take note of that. From your nail, you go up by 3 to 4 inches to get your nail. So after marking my hip line, so let me just indicate it. Here is my hip, here is my hip, and here is my nail. Here is my nail. So after getting my nail, so I will come over to this upper part. So at this upper part, what I'm going to do now is to impute my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 8. That's what I'm going to use here now. So I want to explain for you, if you want to cut for a dress, a 6-piece dress, what you are going to do, you should know that you are going to minus your half length to get your full length for 6-piece dress. So if you minus your half length to get your full length for your 6-piece dress, what you are going to do at this upper part, you are going to use your waist. After cutting your fabric for your half length, you are going to use your waist. Since you normally have your shape, it is for princess, it goes like this. So you are going to use this your waist measurement, which you have at this your center front. That is what you are going to apply here. That is the same measurement you are going. So any amount you have as your center front, that is the amount you are going to apply at this part. So that is for a dress. But if you are not making dress, your nipple to nipple measurement, so mine is 8, as I told you earlier. Mine is 8 divided by 2 gives me 4. So I have my 4 there. And at this my hip area, I'm still going to impute my 4 inches for my hip. Then at the nail, I'm going to reduce 0.5 inch to get my nail, because your nail should not be straight as your hip. You know the hip is always bigger than your nail, so your shape comes like this and flares off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to reduce 0.5 inch for my nail. So I'm going to mark my nail at 3.5. So after marking my nail at 3.5, what I'm going to do is to connect from my waist. Connect from my waist to my hip. Then from my hip to my nail. From my hip to my nail. Then from my nail to my full length. So you can see from my hip to my full length. And this your part, this place should not be that pointy, it should have that curve. So you just create that curve, just little curve, just like this. So this is for my center front. So I will go ahead to draft out my center front, then show you on how to get your back. So I have gone ahead to cut it out. So you need to know how to manage your fabric when doing this. When cutting your 6 pieces, you need to know how to manage your fabric. So that is what I want to show you now. So after cutting this, your fabric should be full. So what you are going to do, you are going to bend this, because you need, I want to cut out my back now. And I want to use my pattern paper to cut out 1 piece for my back, for the pattern paper. But you need 2 pieces for your back. So what I'm going to do now, this upper part now, I'm going to turn it like this, so you can see what I have there. I'm going to make use of it like this. So in this case, I want you to understand better. So let me turn it like this. So this back, let me shape this myself. Okay, so take note, your fabric for my back will be unfold. For my back will be unfold. So what I'm going to do, because we are going to put zip at our back, so I'll place my side so you can see how it was. It was like this. You can see my shape. It was like this. This is the down part and this is the upper part. So to manage your fabric, you turn it upside down. You take your up to the down, take your down to the up, so it will be able to contain what you want to work with. So at the back now, I'm going to use, let me use this green pen for my back. So at the back now, I'm going to make use of 7 inches for my back to give it a tail. So the calculation of your tail should be 7 inches. So 7 inches, that is what I have here for my tail. So after getting my 7 inches, I come over to this upper part and get my calculation. So what I'm going to do is to impute back those calculations which I used earlier. So what I used was my hip 9, my waist to hip 9, my hip to kneel 19, and I'm going to roll my lines. So after rolling your lines just like this, what you are going to do now is to put your zipper allowance at the back. So at this point, I'm going to use 2 inches for my zipper allowance at this side, and at this waist, if you are working with somebody that has buttocks or butts, that has any of those, you can make it 2.5. You can make it 2.5. You can still make it 2. This is not constant. You can still make it 2. It will still work. Then at this down part, you can make here 1.5, because you know the nail is always smaller than the hip. You know, because of the shape of our skirt. It is 6 pieces skirt which we are making now. So after getting your calculations like this, what you are going to do now is to connect from your waist. To your hip like this. Then from your hip to your nail, just like this. Then from your nail to your full length of your 6 piece which you are making, to your full length, from your nail to your full length. So at this point, you are still going to blend it. Like this. There should be no sharp edges. Blend it like that. Your hip also, make sure you blend your curve. If you have hip curve, I always say this, if you have hip curve, it will be easier for you to do. So go ahead to do it like this. What I'm going to do now is to cut it out. So without wasting much of your time, let me just go off camera and cut my shape out from my back. Okay, so I have gone ahead to cut out the back, so you can see what we have here. You can see our shape. This is our zipper allowance for the back, and this is how it comes out flay. This is where I said you will have 14 inches bigger than your front. That is, one is going to be bigger by 14 inches. This is the excess of that 14 inches which I told you. 7 plus 7 gives you 14, and this is the excess of that 14 inches. So over to my side, take note, I am making use of pattern paper, and you know your fabric is going to continue. You can see now I have cut out this pattern. For your fabric, it is going to continue, and you are still going to have that shape, as I told you, that shape that goes like this, and you are still going to turn this upside down for you not to waste your fabric at your main fabric when it goes like this. So let me bring a plain pattern paper and explain to you on what to do about it. So let me go ahead to show you. Okay, so at this note, this is the side which I want to cut out, and what I'm going to cut out, I will cut out 1 piece, but when you want to cut, you need to cut out 4 pieces of this. So what you need to do, if you are working with 3.5 yards of fabric, after creating your center front and your center back, what is left for your fabric, you are going to divide it by 2. I'm not saying that you are going to share it by 2, but you are going to calculate it by 2 with your measurement. So what I'm going to do now is to draw. I'm going to mark out these points which I have like this. So let me use my to put this in place. So maybe if you have turned your center front on your fabric the way I told you, you should turn it upside down for you not to waste your fabric. You will have something like this. So let me go ahead to cut out this. So what you are going to do after placing it is to cut out this shape. So you're going to cut out your shape like this. I want to create my side. I'm going to cut out your shape like this. So after cutting your side like this is your center front, and these are the sides which you are going to join. So anywhere you see me cutting exactly the same shape, you should know that these are the sides that you are going to join together, so it comes out better and finer. So what I'm going to do now is to turn this like this. I'm going to turn it like this, and I'm going to mark out those my points. So this is my style. Let me make use of this green marker. So I will come back with my measurement from my waist to my hip, 9. From my waist to my nail, 19. So that is what I have here. So here I have my waist to my hip, and here I have my waist to my nail. So you can see it like this. So you can see what I have. You can see my green. You can see my green marker, and you can see my red on the same line. So that is the essence of this. So after getting your measurement like this, you are going to calculate your vertical measurement. So let me get my measurements and calculate it for you. Okay, so I have my measurements ready. So my waist measurement, I'm going to divide my waist measurement divided by 4. And my waist, which I'm working with, is 36 divided by 4 gives me 9. So 36 divided by 4 gives me 9. So this is my 9 here. 36 divided by 4 gives me 9. So I have my 9 here. Take note. My fabric is on fold. My fabric is on fold. So your remaining fabric, you place it on fold, and cut out this shape. And cut out this shape. Place it on fold and cut out this shape. Then before you bring it out, bring it like this to take a measurement. So 36 divided by 4 gives me 9. I'm going to include 2.5 inch for sewing allowance. 2.5 inch for sewing allowance. Why this 2.5 inch for sewing allowance? Remember, we are going to sew here by 0.5, and we are going to sew 0.5 here, 0.5 here, and it will take in 1 inch, and we are going to be left with 1.5 for our sewing. 1.5 for our sewing allowance. Take note. 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 1 inch, 1.5 for our sewing allowance. You can still extend it. It all depends on the allowance which you want to work with. But 2.5 is okay. 2.5 is fine. So I have my 2.5 then, and over to my hip. My hip is 46 divided by 4 gives me 11.5. So I have 11.5. I have 11.5 here plus 2.5 inch for sewing allowance. 11.5 plus 2.5 inch for sewing allowance. And over to our nail. How to get our nail measurement? As you may know, it is your hip divided by 4 minus 1.5 inch. That is what we are going to get for our nail. So I have already placed my hip divided by 4 plus my 2.5 inch for sewing allowance. I have already done that here. So what I'm going to do now is to get my full measurement, which is 14.5 minus 1.5. So I will minus 1.5 will give me 13. So that 13 now, I'm going to place it here. And when placing it here, make sure the fabric comes closer at your nail point. Make sure there is no space. Make sure it comes closer. So if you are working with fabric, definitely you will be able to place it like this. If you are working with fabric, definitely you will be able to place it like this. So I have it like so. I have my 13 here, and my sewing allowance is included because I took the same measurement plus my sewing allowance at the hip line there. Take note. So because I took the same measurement plus my sewing allowance at the hip, so here is included with my sewing allowance. So what I'm going to do now is to connect from my waist to my hip with your French curve. While doing this with your French curve or your ruler, as I have it here. Or your ruler as I have it here. Your shape might not be like this. It is because of the pattern which I am working with. Because of my pattern that I'm working with. So let me see if I... Okay, 14.5 minus 1.5, 13. So that is what I have here. Your shape might not be like this because of my pattern paper does not give me that free will. Does not give me that free will. It's not giving me that free will. Free will. Okay, so my waist to my hip to my nail. Then at this part here is where you need your calculation. As I told you, you should take the remaining fabric which you have at your remaining fabric, because you are going to cut this in two. So you can decide to take your measurements like this. So here depends on how many you want it to be. So like what I want to make now, I want to make use of 20 inches for my flame. 20 inches. Then I'm going to connect it from my nail down to my 20 inches. From my nail down to my 20 inches. So while doing this, make sure the one that is left available is enough. If possible, it should remain instead of it not to be enough to get your full flay. So because after trimming this off, we are going to, this is 2 piece. Take note, this is 2 piece because it is on fold. So after tracing this out, let me cut it out for you to see. So I'll go ahead to cut out my side. So I will make this side for my center front, for my front rather. I'm going to make this side to be for my front. And this place should not be that sharp. It should be, you should blend it to make it smooth. Or you should contour it. That's the word. Contouring. So just contour it. So after cutting out your sides, what you are going to do now, remember this is 2 piece. This is 2 piece. You are going to place it again like this. So you can see, you are going to place it again like this and cut out another. So yours should be equal, or if possible, it should have an excess. It should not be small like this and you go ahead to join. You can still join if possible, you can still join, but it does not look nice. But If you want yours to be fuller and your fabric is not enough, you can still join. You can still join. You can. I don't. I, you can still join. You can still join. You can still join. It is still possible. You can still join.